Hey, what's going on, family? I'm a little late today on my challenge, but we're gonna get right to it. One thing. I want us to focus on one thing. That's the challenge today. Pick one thing that you can go all in on, right? Maybe you're saying, look, Eddie, Nehemiah, I love these challenges. I love the motivation. I love the encouragement during these tough times. But look, I know I want something to change about my life, but I don't necessarily know how to start, where to start. One thing. Maybe a little bit like me, and you're saying, look, I can probably focus on 5 to 10 areas, and I have enough energy and passion to do it, but sometimes I feel like I'm not really moving anywhere because I'm doing so much at the same time. This is for you. One thing, right? There's 3 things that happen when we can zero in and focus on one essential thing. The first thing that happens is the muscle building that can be reapplied to several different areas, right? What do I mean by that? Very simple. If we can zero in and focus on one area, we start to build the muscles of our character that are a little bit weak. Muscles like focus, muscles like discipline, muscles like integrity, muscles like doing what we say we're gonna do, muscles like follow through, muscles like execution, right? Sometimes it's hard to build these muscles when you're giving all of your energy to so many different areas. But if you can just zero in on one specific area and start to work on that diligently every day, that's another muscle, diligence, you will start to see those muscles build. But guess what? Those muscles aren't just for that one area. When you execute in that one area and then you move on, guess what? The muscles already built. Now you can just reapply those same strength, those same character strengths to that area, and you'll probably execute that area a lot faster. All right, second thing that happens when you focus on one thing, you get to experience what you call the compound effect. A lot of us are familiar with that term when it comes to money, interest, our retirement fund, so on and so forth, right? Compound interest, explosive growth. Guys, it works the same way when you zero in on one thing, right? Focus on one area that you're gonna execute on, and you make the small decisions, the small, disciplined, successful, positive decisions in that area. You start to experience explosive growth. You start to experience that compound effect where things start to grow exponentially in your life. And one day you look up like, whoa, all of a sudden I have this mountain of success in this specific area, and it feels so good. But what's the key? One thing: focus, discipline, little by little every single day. All right, that's the second thing. The third thing you experience when you focus on one thing, oh, this one feels so good. I love talking about this one. I call it the overflow. Overflow effect. It's so good. What do I mean by that? Simply this: when you focus on one thing and make a disciplined decision to remove the other things that you could be focusing on, right? Look, we're not gonna say we're gonna completely just destroy that. Maybe you give a little part-time to it, or you touch on it as you have time, but really you're saying, no, I'm gonna zero in on this one area and everything else has to wait. Everything else is secondary, right? What happens is, as you build in this one thing, right? You build your muscles, you get consistent, you get the compound effect, you start to see explosive growth. All of a sudden, the success of that one thing begins to overflow into the other areas. Oh, it feels so good, right? Easy example, as you begin to, let's say your one thing is gonna be your health, right? Your weight, your exercise, and your sleeping habits, right? I wanna make sure I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm sleeping good, I'm eating good, I'm exercising good. That's your one thing, your physical body, your health. Right? As you focus in, zero in that one area, all of a sudden, your productivity at work starts to increase. Your energy at work starts to increase, right? That wasn't a focus. That was an area you wanted to work on, but I don't have time for that right now. I'm going to focus on my health, because if I'm not healthy, I can't even go to work. So let me focus on my health. But as I focused on the one thing, my health, guess what? My work productivity automatically was benefiting off that one thing. That's the overflow. Another example, as you were focused on your health, all of a sudden your relationship with your kids and your wife and your family member starts to increase. Why? Because you're at home, you're energized, you're happy, you're full of joy, you're full of excitement, you feel confidence about yourself, you start to have a better outlook on life, and that energy starts to flow inside your home. Man, relationship with my wife, my spouse, my husband, my children, that was struggling. I needed help with that, but I made a commitment to focus on my health. But wow, as I focused on the one thing, the other thing benefited as well. Guys, the overflow effect. Let's make a decision to zero in and focus on one thing. There's so many things we could be doing. There's so many things on our list. But I'm asking you, zero in during this time where we have so much time on our hands, focus on one thing that you can be doing to build those muscles of character, to experience that compound effect of explosive growth, and to start to experience the overflow in your life. All right, so there's a couple books I'm gonna recommend to you that's gonna really help you go deeper into the subject of focusing on the one thing. The first one's gonna be One Thing. It's a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. You'll love it. Get it on Audible. Go grab it, you'll love it, or maybe you could listen to a summary on YouTube. The second book is going to be Essentialism by Greg McKeown. You'll enjoy it as well. Really teach you how to cut out the excess fat in your life and really focus in on those things that are essential. And then the last book is going to be The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Man, I love the way this guy writes his book and breaks this down, just the discipline and consistency and that the compound effect that comes out of that. He was also mentored by Jim Rohn, who's one of my favorite speaker, teachers, motivators out there. So so check out those 3 books and hopefully they'll help you out. It's your man, Eddie Simon. Come on, let's keep climbing. Woo! Whether we feeling high or we feeling low, we gotta keep grinding. Life's not gonna give it to us. So we have to study for this test. So when it's all said and done, love wins with no regrets. Come on, Nehemiah, what you got, baby?